If you're thinking about the Lenovo LOQ 15IRX9 for your gaming or productivity rig, hold on, because you need to hear what I found before you buy. This laptop promises high-end performance with a 13th Gen Intel i5 CPU and an NVIDIA RTX 4050. But here's what surprised me. It's not all smooth sailing under the hood. You see, at first glance, it looks like a powerhouse ready to crush games and multitask like a champ. But there's a twist that might make you reconsider. Today, I'm breaking down all the problems, the perks, and whether this Lenovo LOQ is really worth your investment or just another flashy hype machine. Let's cut through the marketing noise and get real. The Lenovo LOQ 15IRX9 boasts a 15.6-inch Full HD display that's 144Hz and G-Sync certified, paired with a 10-core Intel i5 to 13450HX and a surprisingly good 12GB DDR5 RAM upgraded from what you'd normally expect. Sounds like a gaming dream. However, the devil's in the details. I'll tell you about the quirks and glitches I experienced and why some gamers might want to think twice before adding this to their cart. But I'll also share why it might still have a place on your desk. Stick around, because in the next few minutes you'll get everything you need to know to decide if this machine is your next best buy, or if it's all just smoke and mirrors. Now, who exactly is the Lenovo LOQ 15IRX9 for? If you're a casual gamer who doesn't want to splurge on an ultra-high-end rig but still craves solid FPS and smooth graphics, this model tries to straddle that gap, combining decent power, high refresh rates, and an RTX 4050 GPU. It's also marketed towards content creators on a budget with the 100% sRGB display and speedy NVMe SSD. But here's where the story gets complicated. Despite its appealing specs, some components and the overall design seem to hit compromises that could leave power users frustrated. First, let's talk performance and heat management. The Intel i5 to 13450HX is a beast on paper, 10 cores, 16 threads, capable of hitting 4.6 GHz with turbo boost. But Lenovo's thermal design in this chassis struggles under extended load. During intense gaming or multitasking, I noticed the laptop heating up quickly and fans ramping loudly, which can be distracting if you're gaming late at night or streaming. While the 60Wh battery claims up to 6 hours of life, reality dips lower when pushing the GPU and CPU simultaneously. So, if you were hoping for a long, unplugged session on the go, you might want to temper expectations or always carry that hefty 170W charger. Speaking of heft, at 5.25 pounds, this isn't going to win any portability awards, something to keep in mind if you're eyeing it for travel or tight desk setups. But don't let that scare you off just yet. The display is a highlight. The 15.6-inch IPS panel hits a smooth 144Hz refresh rate with anti-glare coating and 100% sRGB coverage, perfect for vibrant colors in games or photo editing. Plus, G-Sync technology helps eliminate screen tearing perfectly, delivering a silky smooth experience unlike many budget laptops trying to fake it. So if crisp visuals and fluid gameplay are your biggest priorities, Lenovo LOQ delivers on that front. However, the brightness peaks at just 300 nits, which might be a bit dim if you game in bright rooms or near windows. How about storage and memory? This review unit came upgraded to 12GB DDR5 RAM running at 4800 MHz, pretty rare at this price point. While not a massive amount for hardcore multitaskers, it handles gaming and everyday apps comfortably. The 1TB PCIe NVMe SSD makes loading times blisteringly fast, which is a relief if you're tired of HDD sluggishness. Lenovo shipped this unit in a resealed box with upgrades installed, so be aware that your experience depends on the specific configuration received. But here comes the catch. That RAM upgrade can feel like a band-aid when the system still sometimes struggles with background apps or heavier productivity workflows due to thermal throttling mentioned earlier. Connectivity and ports on the Lenovo LOQ 15IRX9 are surprisingly robust. You get Wi-Fi 6 and Bluetooth 5.2 for fast wireless connections, plus a versatile array of ports including a USB-C Gen 2 port with power delivery and DisplayPort 1.4, 3 USB 3.2 Type-A ports, HDMI 2.1, and a RJ45 Ethernet port for wired gaming. That kind of flexibility is excellent for people who want to connect several accessories or external displays. The full-sized backlit keyboard with numpad is a nice touch for daily use, and the 720p webcam with a physical shutter adds a layer of privacy that's increasingly important. Though the keyboard lacks the precision feel some gamers swear by, so if you're a fast typer or hardcore gamer, you might find it a bit mushy. Now, onto some quirks that really stood out. First, the laptop's weight and build. Although Lenovo branded it gaming, at 5.25 pounds and nearly an inch thick, this isn't the sleek travel companion you'd expect from premium ultrabooks. If you're lugging this around daily, be ready for some arm workouts. Might as well call it your new gym subscription. Second, the battery life is average at best. Even though the specs say up to 6 hours, real-world steady gaming or streaming easily chops that down to 2 to 3 hours. That means if you're away from a power source for long, you'll need to plan accordingly. And third, the display brightness issue I mentioned becomes more annoying outdoors, and gaming under direct light feels flat. Here comes the serious stuff. Despite a perfect 5-star rating on Amazon, some user reviews and hands-on tests reveal inconsistent build quality and screen flickering under high refresh rates in specific scenarios. That's uncommon but worth noting. Plus, a few customers reported fan noise spiking unexpectedly during light workloads, which suggests optimization issues with Lenovo's firmware or Windows 11 power settings. It's the kind of thing that can drive you nuts during simple Zoom calls. So is Lenovo LOQ 15IRX9 a gem or a glitchy gamble? I promise we'll get to a verdict soon. One thing you'll appreciate: setup and software are pretty straightforward. It comes with Windows 11 Home pre-installed and ships fast with an included 32 GB USB drive loaded with system recovery files. Nice touch if you want a backup. The upgrade, GB RAM and 1 TB SSD, also come professionally installed and tested, which saves a headache for those who don't want to DIY. But just so you know, the box isn't factory sealed anymore due to the upgrades. So if you like the thrill of unboxing brand new gear, this might feel a little anticlimactic. Think of it like buying a cake that's already been frosted, still delicious, but some frosting edges might be smoother than others. On the bright side, the RTX 4050 GPU is a solid mid-range card for 1080p gaming. It crushes titles like Fortnite, Apex Legends, and Shadow of the Tomb Raider at high settings with decent frame rates, especially thanks to the 144Hz panel. However, if you're thinking about AAA games at ultra settings or 1440p resolutions, this config might hesitate and drop frames, which is the reality of budget gaming laptops. So if you're a professional esports player chasing every millisecond, look elsewhere. But for the average enthusiast or streamer, it's a capable rig that punches above its weight class. Before I jump to the conclusion, here's a quick joke to lighten the mood. Why did the gamer bring a ladder to the Lenovo LOQ? Because he wanted to reach those high frame rates. Okay, I'll stick to reviews. But seriously, humor aside, the Lenovo LOQ 15IRX9 nails raw specs for a mid-tier laptop. Yet some design and performance compromises may trip you up if expectations run too high. Alright, time to answer the big question you came for. Should you buy the Lenovo LOQ 15IRX9? If you want a budget-conscious gaming laptop with a great display and respectable performance for mainstream titles, it's definitely worth considering. The upgrades to 12 GB RAM and 1 TB SSD make the system responsive and future-ready to an extent. But if portability, exceptional build quality, long battery life, or flawless thermal design are at the top of your checklist, you might be better off looking at pricier options or alternate models. The decision boils down to your priorities. Casual gamers and content creators on a budget will appreciate the display quality, upgrade-friendly build, and decent gaming chops. But power users chasing ultra performance or ultra portability may find some corners cut that impact the overall user experience. Lenovo clearly targeted value here, not perfection. As a last amusing tidbit, what did the Lenovo LOQ say to the charger? "I don't need you all the time, but when I do, I really need you." Battery life jokes aside, pack that power brick if you're heading out. In summary, the Lenovo LOQ 15IRX9 is an honest attempt at bringing flagship-worthy specs to a mid-range laptop, with some trade-offs in thermal management, noise, and build weight. Its FHD 144Hz display, with G-Sync and RTX 4050 GPU combo, appeals strongly to gamers who want sharp visuals without breaking the bank. But beware of battery limitations and occasional fan noise quirks. So here's what I recommend. If this sounds like it fits your needs and budget, go for it, but only after checking the latest price. Lenovo LOQ 15IRX9 prices can fluctuate rapidly on Amazon, so use the link in the description below for the best deals right now. Don't wait too long or you might miss out, or worse, pay too much. Thanks for watching this honest review. If you're looking for more straightforward tech reviews with no nonsense, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell. And remember, sometimes the best laptop is the one that surprises you the most, or at least doesn't make you climb ladders for those frames. Good luck in your hunt.